Welcome everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design and build your automatic content system using AI or basically Claude Code. So let's talk about what happens nowadays. Nowadays, when people want to go into a campaign, they have to first build a Gantt. They need to find the topics that they want to talk about, contents from the business, and they want to put it out there. It is outbound marketing. They take their marketing manager, which builds blueprints, and he builds the Gantt, and then he moves it on to the designing. And all these iterations take time, over and back and back and over, and the business is losing money. All this happens. So now what we can do, we can take Claude Code and we can actually design a system that takes the specific workflow of creating all the monthly, weekly, monthly content and make it automatic upon request. So let's try to use the workflow as it would usually be. Okay, let's say you're a marketing manager, you draft the strategy, you draft the Gantt, you're going to talk about XYZ topics this week, the next week, and the week after. And for each topic, you basically need channels. Which channels you're going to upload to? You're going to need the creative, you're going to need the copy, and eventually you're going to approve everything before you take it out and publish. So usually it used to take teams longer periods of time just to make it happen. But nowadays with AI, you can do it in a heartbeat. So let me show you how I designed my content, okay? And I'm going to share with you the flow so you can learn it and adapt to it and eventually use it yourself. So basically, before we begin creating our content, we have an ingestion period. So what is this ingestion? Usually when we create topics, we create contents based on something. It could be something that happened in the business. It could be some content that we liked and we researched. It can be something that happened in our talks with the client, and we had some pebbles we wanted to share and talk about. So this is the ingestion period. In the ingestion period, we are feeding the machine information. So basically, we are going to give the machine, let's say, Claude Code, everything it needs to know to act like he's one of us. So we're going to feed it the brand book and any other company that or tone of voice, rules of speaking that we need. And then we usually going to ask it to go search the web. Okay, search the web, look for topics that are interesting in our niche, things that we can take and apply our knowledge into. And also, we can use data like transcripts from calls we had with clients or inner company transcripts, so that we can have something to create the content from. So this is the first part. This is the ingestion. After the ingestion, we need to digest it. We need to see, okay, this is the content that we have. Now we need to process it, and then bits of it to stuff that we need for all the social media platforms that we have. So this is the digestion, okay? It digests all the information we took in the ingestion part. It breaks it down, structures it, and after we have everything structured and break down, now comes the creation part and the QA part. Here we tell the AI, okay, you have these topics. Now what you need to do is take them and start making contents with them. Now everything has to go through the prism of brand book, company data, and tone of voice, and all the rules. So we make sure that all the content is adherent to the company's rules and tone of voice and brand book, etc. Now, when we create, which is the third stage, I usually like first to make the machine create a blog post, okay, which is basically adapted to SEO and GEO best practices. And this is also a core pillar in our content from which we repurpose to our platforms as well. So I create a big, nice blog post, okay? And I take it and I ask the machine to repurpose it to LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, etc. But before we do that, I always like to add a gating of approval. Okay. After the blog post is created, I need to still give some time to read it and make sure it's not fluff, that it's keeping track of everything that our company needs, and it basically does what it's supposed to do. Okay. And once we approve, then begins the fun part. There we are going into the repurpose and deploy section, which is where the agent or AI is going to take the big blog post and it's going to structure down to all your social media platforms, for its Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, and it's going to create for each platform, it's going to the unique things you need to do. For example, if we're making an Instagram carousel, it's going to make 6 images with the brand book guidelines, and it's going to have captions but text for the posts. And let's say for YouTube, we're gonna build a script, we're gonna use a thumbnail and also all the descriptions for the video. Once this is all done and we approve it, I also take a small tip for me. I also like to add for each end phase of creating a content. Let's say we created LinkedIn content. I also like to add gating and QA parts at the end, so the machine is gonna audit the post and see that it's actually following best practices. So it's gonna make the content more complete and less in need of edits in the end. Of course, that if there needs to be some edges, we're gonna fix it ourselves or ask the machine to do it. But basically, this is how it goes. And eventually, we're gonna ask the machine to publish. Now, usually nowadays, there are many tools that allow you to post to simultaneously to many places. I usually don't like to upload to Instagram and LinkedIn automatically because of their anti-bot policy. It can lock your account, so please don't do that. But there are other tools. I personally like to use Postiz. It's something that you can integrate Claude via API, and it does the job perfectly with the click of a button. Once you have all the social media platforms content created, you can also, with a click, it can send all the content into Postiz and schedule it and just post it. But take into consideration, LinkedIn and Instagram, you don't want to automate, at least not now. You will basically try to do it by yourself. Otherwise, your account can get banned. So this is basically the process. We take out transcripts, we search the web for our topic, then the machine digests everything and brings up all the chunks of data. Then the AI is going to create the contents. Like I said, again, the blog post, after we approve, chunks it up, slices down, and makes that content into other repurposed contents. Now, this entire process can be a routine. If you use Claude Code, you can run it once. Try not to overdo it. I don't like to create too much content. I like to make it 4 times a week. And so basically, this is the engine. Maybe next time I will show you how to do it, how to write the skill itself. So I hope everything was kind of clear. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to post all your questions and subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. And let's continue having more content. Bye, guys.